Hello, I just came back from the Europeans 2026 and I was invigilating, not judging, but invigilating the intermediate division, and I saw the stage dance, which is Klischee. And since I'm the one who choreographed it, I think we should talk. I feel like a lot of people didn't understand the music and therefore couldn't understand the dance. So I want to go ahead and talk about the music aspect first, and then go over some steps of the dance and how the dance is trying to translate the music into something physical. So the song itself has three main aspects, three main instruments, if you will. Number one is the most obvious, it's the drums. Number two is also very prominent in the B section, which is the trumpet. And then number three, even if you don't want to call it an instrument, it's the voice itself, the way the woman sings the song. So if we start with number one, the drums, there's always a harsh beat drum very deep on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is very prominent. Roots, 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 roots. It doesn't have a usual structure that other songs have, where you would have a high pronunciation on 1, almost none on 2, a lower 1 on 3, and then again almost none on 4. This one is really down, 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 powering all the way through. And in contrast, on each end count, it has, in this case you could call it an upbeat, if you will. So it's 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and which gives it a lot of energy and a lot of speed. So also gives you opportunity not to just dance every full count, but also to dance on every half count, on every end count in a different way. Since the full count is very low and deep and strong, and the end count is always very high and up and light, it gives also a good balance between you can stay grounded and very strong and heavy, but you can also decide to emphasize these upbeats on the end, and make it more lightweight and carrying. And the dance is trying to incorporate both, especially when you have the Wizard of Oz steps, if you want to call them like this, with the grapevine diagonal, where you step on every count and on every half count. So this gives you the opportunity to get some of this lightweight in there. So that's number one, obviously the drums, which is not present anymore at part B, which brings me to the second one, which is the trumpets. The trumpets themselves are very prominent in part B, and they have a very difficult way, because usually we all dance 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the way the drums are working, it's not like this. In part B, the drums are and 1 and a 2. And this gives us a higher pronunciation on the 2 in this case, which is why we have the double turn, the one from the end of part A, and then beginning with another turn at the beginning of part B, because we need to get the transition done to hit the 2. And this is where I saw a lot of issues for people going through that. The rest of part B is almost absent. Of course, there's still percussion instruments going on, otherwise we wouldn't hear any beat, but it's very soft, and that is what this dance is also trying to show, that there's one harsh moment, and then everything just slows down, cools off, no big surprise, anything, just very smooth. That's why it also gets this quick step part. Yet quick step itself is not a low energy dance or anything like this, but it is very smooth in a way that it flows really nicely through, and that is the whole thought about it. And then of course the last instrument is the voice, and here it's very interesting. She often transitions her voice from 8 and 1 and 4 and 5. So you will also find 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 da bum bum beep dum bum beep beep bum bum beep dum. And the way she sings, it's always transitioning, it's connecting the two measures, 1 2 3 4 and 5 6 7 8, and what it's doing, it's transitioning, building an arc to connect these two and building a bridge from one measure to another, which gives it also a very flowing thing. And I wanted to put more in the dance of that, more 8 and 1s, more 4 and 5s, but it would have been too difficult to dance and it would have been too much. So that's where I tried to compromise and say, let's have a little bit of 8 and 1, 4 and 5, whatever, but also keep some normal stuff in it. I will now play some music. I hope you will hear it okay. If not, I will just go ahead and put it in the background of the track and edit it a little bit. And I will try to highlight the different instruments, the drum set, the trumpet, and the singing, and show you what I mean by that. You will hear me sing more. It is awful, I know I have to verse the singing voice, but it is what it is, and as long as it helps you. Right, hey, after filming the video I realized that my microphone wasn't picking up from my headphones, but from the actual cell phone that I recorded with. So yeah, the following sound quality will unfortunately be quite bad, especially since the room is quite big and there's a lot of echo and the music is very loud, and obviously then my headphones were not the ones recording. So I think the main parts should be still fine. You should be able to hear it okay. And then the second thing, I kept talking about 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. And I also will talk about a part where I say that usually it's accent non, little accent non, oots, tick, ah, tick, oots, tick, ah, tick. And that the song doesn't have it, and I thought a little bit more about it. And it could be the reason that the song is actually twice the speed. So instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, that it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It has twice the beats per minute, and then it would again match with the usual way that the beats are accented. Still, it would be a little bit different because it's accented so strong. It's not typical the way it is. But especially for the line dancing stuff, it makes more sense anyway to count the way I just will do it in a video with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, instead of what I now think is correct, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, sorry for those two mistakes, but in the end, I think it will still be helpful. All the best. All right, I got the music here. Let's play it. We get a little introduction. Okay, here we go. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, always going bounce, 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 bounce. And then you have the backing beat. Bounce, 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 bounce. And if you combine it, you get a very energetic thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's what I mean. Down, 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 beat, beat, but you can go up, 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 up. It gives you both options, and this gives you all of this movement. So, next part is then part B, where it transitions into the trumpets, and it slows down and cools off and gets smoother by the time. But let's just go ahead and listen to that one again. To get a real feel for this pow, pow, pow. Trying to hear this backing and this upbeat, this going up on end, and also trying to hear this going down on the full beat, and how together this can create this very dynamic movement. Also the way I'm moving here, it's not on accident. That's what this dance is. You can choose to go up with end counts, let's talk about the trumpets. The trumpets are different. Usually in music we have accent, high accent on 1, very minor accent on 2, not even this beat, 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 beat thing, but usually high accent on 1, minor accent on 2, middle accent on 3, minor accent on 4. That's how it usually works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This song already changes it by 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, everything is heavy attack, giving you less time to breathe, if you will. So we're used to always hitting the 1, usually. That's what we do. Here it's different. The trumpets, the way they set up, it's not finishing or building up to 1, and that's what was also visible in the competition, that people were struggling. It is building up to 2, which is very rare. So the trumpets, they are and 1 and a 2. So it tricks you, because we're used to hitting on 1. It is not. We're transitioning over and 1 and a 2. So now that would be too difficult to spin, because I put the spins in it, to spin for and 1 and a 2. That would be a lot of steps in a very short time. And also there was the challenge of getting the rotation done for the beginning, which I will talk about after this when we talk about the lyrics and the voice. So the idea is to use the 2 spins and 8 and 1, 2 to be able to hit the 2 to fill in this gap. That is the main thing that I actually saw people tripping over this by being so used to hitting the 1. So I can only tell it again. The trumpets are and 1 and a 2. Okay, you need to hit the 2. Don't expect the drums to end or hit on 1. They hit on 2. Let's play this. That is with the part B, especially obviously with the beginning of part B causing issues. The accent for part B is not 1, it is 2. The trumpets are not and 8 and 1, they are and 1 and a 2. And that is what sounds so weird and strange, and you have to override your brain basically. There's no cheating, no trick, you just have to listen to it. I can only recommend do what we just do here in the video together. Count through the dance, count through the song basically, and get used to, yes, part B is not 1, 2, 3, it's and 1 and a 2, 3, 4. That's the only way you're gonna make it. If you actually count through it, just listen to the song, count through it, get used to it. Alright, and then lastly we have the lyrics, the voice, the woman singing. Whenever she sings, not whenever, but often when she sings, it is 8 and 1, or it's 4 and 5. So you have the measures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and with her singing, she bridges and connects these 2 measures in a very fluid way. Instead of having 1 piece here, cut 1 piece here, you always, not always throughout the song, but in this case, with the transitions, you often get this arc from 4 to 5 or from 8 to 6. It's very often, I am sitting. I cannot sing. I should have said that before. If you don't want to hear me sing, you have to turn down the volume. But it's like, I am sitting on the corner, blah, 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 at the diner. So she always comes from 4 and arches over to the 1, connecting these 2 measures or connecting then the 2 measures after it. And that is something I try to put also in the dance a lot, especially the turn at the beginning. I imagine it that everyone turns when the song plays and it's counting 5, 6, 7, 8. My thought process is that nobody waits till 8. Everyone starts turning on 8, and then goes into the dance. And I saw a few people do it and I was very happy about it. We just need to make sure we spread the word and that all judges are really aware that this is not a variation, but this is actually intended to be like this. So I always want the people to emphasize the transition and the arc between the two measures, so the turn at 8 and 1. We have that a few times. I would have liked to put it in more, but it would have become too much at some point. In the end, it would only be 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It would have been ridiculous. So there was a compromise between having the emphasis on the voice as an instrument and then also be able to have some proper dancing in between. And let's just listen to that and try to focus on the voice. If I find it, here we go. But it already starts with I am sitting, which is 5, 6, 7, 8 and 5, 6, 7, I am sitting. So it, even from the very beginning, it has this arc between the two measures. Those are basically the three main musical concepts in the song, which I chose to put an emphasis on. And now I will go ahead and do some moves, show you what it means in the dance, each of these instruments, where you can see where it's represented. And after this, we will go ahead and look at some moves themselves, what could be done there, how should they be executed. All right. It starts with the very first step. And the area is 8 and 1, so that we expect 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. Right there at the beginning, we already just the first part. Let's do recently, Dave Getty gave me this awesome quote. I wanted to see the music, hear the dance. And when I heard it, I was, that is so true. I love that one. And it's something maybe you guys want to use it as well. See the music, hear the dance. Awesome. And that's what this dance is all about. It is 8, 1. Then we need to have some normal dancing, of course. To really and here's where the whole clapping thing is on the end. That is where the whole down, up, comes into play for the first time. That is already showing that it has both aspects. It's not only down here, it's not only up here. And you can really play with this by using everything. Just doing this. If you only do this, you don't understand it, you don't feel it. If you only do this, it's the same. It is, even if you have no clapping, it is this. Down, 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 down. It, of course, doesn't have to be extreme, but it's showing that you are with the music. It's seeing the music. And So it has a due to the structure of such a thing, it is not continuously, because of the three-step dynamics, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and your music being symmetric, the music is up, down, and so on. Here the opportunity to really emphasize this as much as this is not quite there, but you can still play with the whole body, play with the whole song, instead of just flowing through it. You just have a flow through it. You're again missing all the energy in the music, you're missing all this play that there's the different layers. And so what I would like to see is from down, up. This section here, we have this way, to then continuously flow with it and have all this play in your body. Of course, you don't have to shake like this, it might look ridiculous after some time. But to emphasize that every beat has some sort of meaning in there. Go ahead, check this out real quick. After this whole section, we needed to give you some time to breathe, if you will. So this one is really just some breathing moment. It's not like just some shots and stuff. Doesn't need to be all that up, down. People like to do something this fancy. I don't think fancy in this way, all that big and extra super something, fits it. Due to this, all the whole beat topping, it is very packed and tight. If you do it too big, you're missing out of all the little nitty-gritties, all the little accents in between. So everyone has its own or his own opinion. I rather have the emphasis on this play between down, up, rather than some fancy big stuff. Later in therapy, when the music slowly, this doesn't slow, but it gets more calm, then you can start doing bigger things because it's not this energetic anymore. So this one for me, rather compact. And the next part was trying to get back to the 4 and 5, 8 and 1. Sometimes you also spend things 2 and 3. So this is the section here. 1, 2, and 3. Same thought like 8 and 1, 4 and 5. In this case, 2 and 3. Of course, it's not bridging measures anymore, but it's still bridging a gap where that is usually present in the music, that it would not go ahead and do a direct connection between 2 and 3. And usually the direct connections would be between 1 and 2, or 3 and 4 and 4 time, unless it's cha-cha or not. So this is here emphasizing the way that she, in her voice, as the singer, always plays with these bridges in a different setting. And of course the choreography, the structure of the dance somehow has to fit it, so you can't always put everything here. From a dance flow perspective, having put 8 and 1 in here somewhere would have not worked. We need, for competition purposes, of course, and for danceability purposes, also to look at the spatial structure of the dance. And we need also a certain, there's no determination, you have to have these kind of stuff in a competition dance, but you need to have a chance for everyone to show the dance skill. And something easy like a little turn is not a big deal, but then sometimes you have competitors that would already dance the pivot turn like this, and it's also good to have something synthesis sometimes. And this one, a good transition to pivot turn and then into end 3. 3, this bridge within the measure, to make sure it all still continuously flows. In this case, emphasizing the singing, the voice, where she always bridges, but also by having an end count between 3, also emphasizing this upbeat. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. We'll talk about the next step in a second. And I will put on some music first. Do this. Next step is again a transition from the voice, 8 and 1. So she's here, 8, and going to the new copy again, about that also, 8, and making the transition to the new pop. So it's again the thought of bridging the measures, bridging the parts, and make it more fluid and continuous, despite all the accents of music. 8 and 1. And this becomes 1. Then 8 and 1. That is really one. And these knee pops, again, needed to bring the pace of the dance down a little bit, so it wouldn't be super high energetic all the time. If there's no contrast, it gets boring. If the dance would be too slow, too soft, it will get boring. If it's high energy all the time, first of all, it would be super exhausting, and also it would be too boring. You need always to have some contrast in everything. So this one right here, it's not necessarily thinking about going down. It's more about going forward instead of down. It's not up. It's not down. Forward. It's a little skip. Balls of the feet. Skip. Heels come up. Why do they go up? And too hard. And since you will have to punch away anyway, you need the balls of the feet. Your knees are popping forward to the diagonal. 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 Skip. So in what transitions? 8 and 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's not fancy up, it's not fancy down. It is cutting straight through on a horizontal line, not going straight through. Of course, this is bending your knees and bending your ankles. It automatically leaves some wiggle room, but ideally your level wouldn't go up or down. If it happens, it happens. If you go down a little bit, you're flexing and bending, like we would call it, your joints, so automatically there will be play. But it's not the aim. If it happens, it happens, but it's not what you're aiming for. You're aiming for being somewhat horizontal straight, and then at the end give us a breathing time, 5, 6, 7, to then go ahead, transition, 8, and to the beginning again. So there's 2 of the instruments that I talked about. Number 1, the beats, being visible in here, and number 2, the voice, 8 and 1, 2 and 3. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 1 and 2 and 3. I've gone wrong. I have to count it back up. 8 and 1 and 3. I can't think of 8 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 7, 8 and 1, but like this. 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, yes. So it's 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 1 and. So this one combined with the so that gives it that. Let me do that music again. I think I'm not going to cut it out. Nobody's perfect. You get confused also sometimes. Sometimes you want, sometimes I think I need it. The next part. Okay, enough. Get to the breath. So, to be able to mix together these two sections, which are very different, they're like almost two separate songs. I had to come up with an idea to kind of connect them. I wanted, no matter what, I wanted to have the term again. For me, this was so clear. The music tells me it has to be 8. 1 to get to dance is to start with 8. 8 people. Obviously, since it loops, it means the dance has to end with 8 and 1. 8 and now we have an issue with the trumpets on the part B, which is and 1 and then 2. Which means we need to do something not pronounced with at one end to then be able to pronounce the 2, which my super clever idea is to just add one turn, which is not at one ender, because that would be too fast. So we just do 2 turns, the one from the end, one more from the beginning of part B, so we can do the 2. That is the whole trick. It's the one turn from the end, turn, 8 end, part A ends, and part B starts with the turn, which is then 2 turns, 1 and 2, 3, 4. But since only the trumpets are the thing that are pronounced in the song in such a strange way, the rest of the percussion stuff is still normal. And that's where some of the discrepancies come from. The rest goes into normal counting. 8 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. So it's 2, 4, 3 counts, which is again strange, not usual. Then we go back to the normal stuff. 5, 6, 7, 8, stop size. 5, 6, 7, and 8. I saw some people doing a little flip here. I like that. I don't see a problem from a vanilla perspective. For me, this is interpretation. If you do it like this, for me, it's fine. What other judges say, I don't know. We'll have to talk to them. But I think if you do it like this, or if you do it like this, actually, this even shows me that you understand what's coming next, because for the quickstep part, your lower value needs to be in diagonal, because the quickstep does forward to search the wall, but the covers it would be diagonal, the center, the diagonal wall, depending on which the side of it is moving. And so the lower body needs to be turned by hitting the wall. The upper body doesn't. In a quick step, you would be with your partner and step next outside of your partner, and then end up in the counter body movement position. In line dance, of course, you have your partner, but we're mimicking this. This is why when you do that part, you shouldn't be turning all the way with the upper body turning as well, because it's not mimicking what we do in couples dancing. Couples dancing, you go to your partner. Of course, this is lady step, direction here, going for the guy backwards, maybe forward, step, chassé. And for the partner to be able to pass me, I need to stay in the couple body movement position here and let the partner go past me. And this is why you basically stand like this. You shouldn't stand all the way straight. So to show it from here, it's not 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just show it again. You see how my arms are moving. Just go 1, 2. This is not what you want. Turning and turning. Your lower body does that, but your upper body, you can stay here. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And I'm not saying you should have your arms like this, I'm just trying to demonstrate where it all goes. And many years ago, we came up with the thought, how can we do it in line dance? Because we have no partner. Well, let's just say the wall is your partner. Your upper body tries to remain parallel to the wall. And let me extend it like this. If I turn down here, and I'm not just having my arms here, it's the whole upper body trying to stay here. If we do this, we get this contra body movement position automatically. So the upper body, everything, not just the arms, the upper body tries to stay here. 1, 2. The lower body turns underneath it, and then from here, chop, chop. Until the end, the last step will be a quarter turn to then get into the right turn. This is also what we're trying to do here. We are keeping walking back and forth. And you can also see how my arm is already automatically pointing in this direction, not only because I'm trying to show where we're going next, but also by doing so. If you look now, I'm pointing diagonal. My upper body turns. I'm not just pointing like this, pointing like this, reaching forward with this side, bring the whole side forward. So this last step here, the flick, if someone does a flick, it indicates to me the person understands that the person needs to rotate the hip. What does it do? It allows you to rotate the hip. If you want to have your leg in this side, you would have somehow to bring it back. But if you do it with a little flick, you will release the head better. It allows you not to be so stiff. And then when you flick, have more play in the head. And then go diagonally forward, making sure you have a very good position. Chassé here, chassé here. The last one is very unusual for line dance, but it gives us a new direction where we can move to, and it brings down not the pace of the dance, of course, but the high energy. It takes a bit like a cushion, like a stopper, compensator, whatever they call it. Gives us the opportunity to get slower here. The whole music becomes less energetic. You can be slower. You can do some wiggly thing. And yeah, once we need to give you guys some breathing time in between. We cannot do power, crazy tricks all the time. So I had to come up with something playful. Something that fits the style, that charts the style, something that fits the fun of the song itself. And so I remember this from back in the years, which I thought was very appropriate to give you guys some breathing time, to bring down the energy and have still something funny and worth doing. This one isn't very tricky, we need to get used to it. Thing, and the same thing here at the end. The song is very calm at this point, and then we need to find the transition back into the very beginning. This is why 8 and, the end of each section, 8 and, is the same, because we need to transition and make sure that we don't just have a 1, 2, 3 at the end. It would be boring. I mean, we could have choreographed something like this there. 2, 3, cha-cha, 1, 2, 3. But this again would kill the energy and the high pace, and also in a way the difficulty. I mean, it's intermediate. We're not beginners anymore, so we need something. And just a cha-cha here wouldn't be challenging enough. And also a cha-cha, chassé, it just doesn't really fit the character when they talk about it. Doesn't work sideways. Works with crossing steps. This is something that just doesn't feel good. And so the transition is 6, 7, 8, and 1, right here again with the same consonants. Let's see. Let me play the song as a whole. I try to talk during that. Please, if I mess up, talking, singing, thinking, and dancing at the same time. Any of the mistakes out. I don't know, makes it more realistic. Look at me, all sweaty. I haven't even started working out yet. So, yeah, but it shows, hey, nobody's perfect. We all do mistakes. I don't know, kind of like it. You see, also you're on the floor, you don't have to be perfect. Of course, we do expect you to prepare. It's not like we like to see people mess up, but it happens. Don't worry, don't go too crazy. And also don't, be too concerned at the event. Getting concerned at the event itself will just ruin it for you. The event is not what makes you win. It's the preparation you put in. If you're not prepared, you have to be very, very, very talented or very lucky to get good scores. And usually it's all the preparation, so mistakes happen. You saw me screw up several times. It's okay. that's life. So if you have any questions, let me know. I hope this is helpful. I don't know, maybe this can be a good example for other choreographers that do competition dances, maybe go over their dances, have some insights in their thinking, why they did it that way, what they're looking for. I mean, it doesn't have to be a whole technical tutorial. Again, that's not really the job of the choreographer to give online lessons and technical breakdowns and everything. In the end, that is your job, but I think it helps to understand what was in the choreographer's head, what are the thoughts behind it, what hidden clues might there be. I mean, maybe my brain is totally weird, and maybe none of this makes any sense, other than in my brain, might also be the case. But I think, yeah, it would be cool if more people did that. If you have any other dances that you would like to see something about, maybe I could do it if the other choreographers don't do it. I will not do all dances, it's just way too many. And also, for other dances, I would only be able to talk about what I think the person's thought behind it is. And maybe there are some dances where I say, hey, I have no connection to it. I don't want to do it because I don't feel like I'm the right person to do it, because how could I claim to know whatever the person was thinking? But if there are some dances, send them over, I'll have a look, and if I think I know what the person had in the mind, then sure, I can do one. Yeah, sorry for my awful singing. I hope the video still reaches a lot of people. Feel free to send it to someone who could benefit from it. Also, you could, even if you don't dance intermediate this year, 2026, if you don't have this very dance, it might be helpful for you, just to get more understanding of what are in people's minds, what musical thinking there might be and how it helps you. Okay, then wrap up. 3 instruments, the drums, utsa, 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 the trumpets, and 8 and a 1. Sorry, again, I did it wrong. And 1 and a 2. See, it happens. And 1 and a 2, 3, 4, pam, 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 dum, and a 1 and a 2. You get the idea. And then, of course, the singing. 8 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 1, and so on. Those are the aspects, 3 aspects. Visible separate sections in the dance. The dance is trying to play with all of them. You cannot always have everything at once. Sometimes you have to focus on one thing, let that go, focus on another thing, let go, and so on. That's why you might find it's not consistent, because it is not all through the dance, all 3 aspects, it cannot be. Then we have some special stuff, like the skips with the knee pops, then the leg extensions with or without the flick, and control body movement for the quick step part. That's basically it. Well, hope this is helpful. All the best, and maybe see you in the next video. Bye bye.